Super Bowl 60 is finally here, and in this video, we're going to dive into the 5 key individual matchups and schematic decisions between the Seahawks and the Patriots that will ultimately decide who will be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the game on Sunday. And we're going to waste no time and jump right in, beginning with one of the best wide receiver cornerback matchups we have seen all year in Seattle's newly crowned Offensive Player of the Year, Jackson Smith-Njigba, taking on the Patriots' lockdown corner, Christian Gonzalez. If you watch the Seahawks at all this season, you know their offense runs through JSN. He accounted for 44.1% of the Seahawks receiving yards this season, which is the second highest share by any Super Bowl receiver in NFL history. What makes this even more impressive is how he achieved this. Last season, JSN led the NFL in receiving yards out of the slot, and this year he led the league in receiving yards aligned out wide, making him the first player in the next-gen stats era to lead the league in both roles in different seasons. Now, while Seattle now aligns him out wide on 81% of their snaps, we've seen throughout this playoffs, Clint Kubiak has moved him all over the field, aligning him out wide, in the slot, in the backfield in shotgun sets, and even as the up back in pistol sets. That versatility is an absolute nightmare for defenses to handle. However, going up against Christian Gonzalez will prove to be the biggest test that JSN has seen this entire postseason, as Gonzo is one of the best corners in the NFL, and his performance on his plays matched up against JSN will be a critical part of this game's outcome. Christian Gonzalez has not given up a single touchdown in zone coverage this season. He's had 62 targets in zone, and that is the most without a touchdown of any defensive back in the NFL. In the AFC Championship game, Gonzo was also stout in man coverage against the Broncos, giving up just one catch for 6 yards and snagging that late game clinching interception on 19 coverage snaps in man. The major problem here for New England is that JSN thrives in exactly the areas where their defense plays the most. He ranks 6th in target rate versus man coverage and 4th in target rate versus pressure. And the Patriots played the top 10 most man coverage in the NFL this season, and they had the 6th highest pressure rate in the NFL this past season. What all this means is Seattle is likely to lean on a game plan that's focused around motion, quick game, and free access routes, which means Gonzalez will likely be expected to handle a good amount of one-on-one matchups against one of the hardest to cover receivers in football. If Christian Gonzalez can't hold up, Seattle's offense will have a chance to avalanche this game, as JSN's gravity will open up opportunities for Seattle's tight ends, as well as fellow receivers Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed. On the other hand, while neutralizing JSN is not really possible, Gonzalez can play physical early in routes, especially in press coverage, and he can look to disrupt his timing, particularly on those deep intermediate routes where JSN likes to do a lot of his damage. This will end up slowing down this Seattle offense and force Darnold to other options, where the Patriots now will have a path to essentially keep a lid on the Seattle offense and the overall scoring output of this game, which is right where the Patriots want to be as an underdog in this one. The matchup here between JSN and Christian Gonzalez is going to be huge in determining who will be the Super Bowl champion. This second matchup I want to highlight here is going to be Seattle's offensive line against this interior Patriots pass rush. New England's defensive front is built on Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, two of the most disruptive interior defenders in football. This season, Barmore generated 54 pressures, with nearly a third of them being double-teamed, with 17 pressures while being double-teamed. That's the second most in the NFL. The scariest part of this statistic is that Barmore was able to even find this much pass rushing production, with Milton Williams missing a large portion of the season due to injury. Now that they are both healthy, they have wreaked havoc throughout this entire postseason. Against a quarterback like Sam Darnold, who thrives in clean pockets, pressure is going to be the fastest way to break Seattle's offensive rhythm. If Williams and Barmore and this entire Patriots front seven can consistently win on the inside, it's going to limit Seattle's ability to work in the play-action passing game, get to any of their deep developing routes, and most importantly, it will limit JSN's ability to work those intermediate passing windows. This matchup is going to help determine whether Seattle's offense can stay balanced and like to get to all of their various under center 12 personnel sets with those deep play action games, or if they're going to become one-dimensional and much more predictable, and again, make the game much more gritty and lower scoring for the Patriots, which again is right where they would like to be. The third matchup I want to highlight here is going to be the Patriots O-line against Seattle's twist and stunt heavy defense. This is going to be a chess match in the trenches in the Super Bowl, and I'm so excited to see how this one plays out. While New England looks to create pressure while they're on defense, they're also going to have to survive and protect against it when they are on offense. Their left tackle, rookie Will Campbell, has allowed 4 more pressures in every single playoff game this season, including 5 pressures on just 30 pass block snaps in the AFC Championship game. Now he's going to be facing a Seahawks front that might be the most stunt-heavy defense in the NFL. Their 4-man pass rush pressure rate without a stunt ranked 19th in the NFL, but when they employed a stunt or a twist, that jumped up to 9th in the NFL with nearly a 42% pressure rate. No player on this Seahawks defense ran more stunts this season than Leonard Williams, especially when he aligned as a wide 4-eye technique or anything further out wide. The vast majority of these stunts were also TE stunts, where the tackle is going to crash first to the outside and the edge will loop to the inside behind him and look to get quick pressure up the B or A gap. These twists and stunts are exactly what will punish bad communication and inexperienced tackles. If Will Campbell continues to struggle and is picked on by this Seattle front 4, Drake May will not have time to read the field and get through his progressions, no matter how quickly he's been able to process this entire season, and that will significantly hinder their offensive output in the Super Bowl. The fourth matchup I want to walk through is going to be the Patriots receivers taking on this Seattle secondary and really ask the question, can New England win downfield? All season, Drake May and the Patriots were able to find explosive plays in the pass game, and Kayshon Boutte has come on as their go-to deep receiver. This year, Boutte recorded 13 receptions of 20-plus yards, 5 deep shot touchdowns, and Drake May had a 152 passer rating targeting Kayshon this season, making him one of the most efficient vertical receivers in football. But this game, the New England Patriots receiving core is going to be taking on a Seattle secondary that is elite in man coverage, ranked top 2 in the fewest deep yards allowed, and allowed the least deep shot touchdowns in the NFL. In the NFC Championship game, Seattle leaned heavily into man coverage, opting for man on nearly 60% of coverage snaps in the first half, and their individual defenders stepped up big time. Nick Emanwari only gave up 1 catch for 6 yards in coverage snaps against Puka and Devontae Adams. And this year, Devon Witherspoon had the lowest deep target rate of any corner in the NFL and also a league low touchdown rate allowed on deep balls targeting Witherspoon. The Patriots offense wants explosive deep shots, but Seattle's defense is built to erase them. If the deep ball is not a threat for the Patriots offense, I don't think they have enough firepower to keep up with Seattle. So finding and most importantly, executing these opportunities will be paramount to the Patriots' success in the Super Bowl. The last matchup I'm going to talk through is going to be the QB duel between Drake May and Sam Darnold. While May had an MVP caliber regular season, he has struggled this playoffs. However, you have to cut him some slack as he's been thrown into one of the toughest, if not the toughest, postseason defensive gauntlet we've ever seen, having to go through the Chargers, then Texans, then Broncos, and now will be taking on the Seahawks defense in the Super Bowl. The difference in this matchup compared to those previous 3 playoff games is that Seattle by far represents the most dangerous offense they have seen all season. This makes the margin for error for Drake May and this entire Pats offense much smaller than it's been thus far in their run. For Josh McDaniels, that means building a game plan for a second-year quarterback against a defense that seldom sits in base personnel, instead living in nickel and dime packages utilizing their speed and length to smother opponents. For New England to have a chance in this one, sustained drives are going to be essential. Seattle's offense is simply too explosive with JSN, Shaheed, and Kenneth Walker, who's playing the best football of his entire season in this playoffs. and the Patriots simply cannot afford 3 and outs because every single empty possession will put their defense back on the field against one of the most dangerous and efficient offenses in the league. This means they must stay ahead of the chains and use Drake May's legs as a real weapon to keep the pass rush honest, particularly against a front that twists as much as Seattle does. That actually leaves a huge vulnerability for May to scramble, as you will lose pass rush integrity on a lot of those twists and stunts that the Seahawks like to employ. They also have to stay committed to the run game to help open up deep opportunities for Kayshon Boutte and Stephon Diggs, especially considering Drake May has been one of, if not the most effective deep ball throwers in football this year. Now on the other side of the ball for Sam Darnold, this feels like a point guard game. Kubiak has consistently created free access throws for JSN, leaned into RPOs to exploit numbers advantages, and taken calculated shots when the defense overcommits. Against heavy pressure looks and quarters coverage from New England, expect a steady diet of quick game passes and an emphasis on running out heavier personnel to set up play action shots for JSN and this entire receiving core. For Seattle, the formula here feels simple. Continue to jab against his Patriots defense until that knockout blow presents itself. This is easier said than done, but in the end, I believe this Super Bowl will be defined by the play in the trenches on both sides of the ball. And the team that better manages the pressure will likely be the one hoisting the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the night and claim their spot in NFL history and immortality. That is going to do it for this breakdown. If you enjoyed this video, all I ask is that you drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel, as that is the best way to support me and allow me to continue creating this content for you all. If you're feeling bold, drop a comment and let me know if you have the Seahawks or the Patriots winning the Super Bowl, and maybe even drop a score prediction there as well. Either way, I will be dropping film breakdowns of the game in the days following, so stay tuned for that as well. As always, I appreciate you for tuning in, and I'm out.